Hello, everybody, and welcome to the fourth episode of CRT. That stands for Cody
And I think I'm Robbie.
Time! Yeah, you did have a little bit of a problem with the last episode, didn't you, Rami? Or are you Cody and
No,
I'm
the
Rami?
episode before.
No, it was the
Yeah.
last episode. I'm
Oh,
pretty
yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Valentine's
yeah,
Day.
yeah,
Sorry.
Valentine's Day. By the way, for those of you that had spent Valentine's Day with a significant other, happy Valentine's Day. For those of you that spent it by yourselves, happy Singles Awareness Day. Hope you didn't feel too
And we're
bad
with
about it.
you.
Oh, yeah. Uh, actually, I'm with one of the other ones, which is, just stay back and play some video games day.
Stay back.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Mm.
So, Rami, what was the episode that we were going to do this time? It starts with an F.
Family.
Yeah, that's right, family. Because those of us that have to deal with mental stuff, we have people on both sides. We have people that love their family, we have people that hate their family. Either way, family does play a big part in it, and it's not even with people that have to deal with mental issues. Sometimes there are just people out there who don't like their families, or people out there who love their families. But anyway, there are definitely good, bad, and chunky moments.
Where would you like to start?
Well, I think, as always, we should start with the good. So, some of the
Uh,
things that first come to my mind are some of the things that we always cover a general basis on, which is you get like different knots and chain links in your safety net, which is always good. You need a pretty vast safety net to catch you when you're falling down the down that dark pit.
I prefer to think of it as a rabbit hole, but, you know.
I mean, kinda. I mean, I usually think of it as a spiral, but
Oh, I like Alice in Wonderland, so.
oh yeah, well, so do I. It's the it was my first professional play that I was in. Was a hip hop rendition of Alice in Wonderland.
I remember that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It was
Anyway,
also my last my last memory of Colorado, so it's good.
yeah, good for you.
Um,
Uh,
what are some good things that you can think of for family? And then I'll go afterwards, and then you go, and then I go, and then we could keep going until the good is
it's like
out.
a tennis match.
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
And right now it's
um,
at 15 love in my favor. Look, I
I
watched
love
tennis,
Mario.
okay?
I love Mario Tennis.
That's good.
I No, the good thing about family, at least when it comes to me and my family, because I can speak for myself here,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
um, is that there are certain members of my family, um, specifically my little sister, who you know, obviously,
mm-hmm,
Regina. She and I are like I'm adopted, right? Just like Cody, but
mm-hmm,
Regina and I have always had, my little sister and I have always had like a bond, like a twins bond, even though we're not biologically related.
mm-hmm.
She has always kind of taken care of me, um, physically, mentally, emotionally. Um, you know, she's my best friend in my family, um, and I love her. And I go to her whenever I'm struggling.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's important in your family to have a person that you can kind of lean on, right?
I
You
would
know
agree,
that
yeah.
that you know won't judge you. My grandparents, who are now passed on, were also like that. And I know, Cody, that you have a special relationship with your grandma,
Mm-hmm,
our my kind of adopted grandma.
mm-hmm.
Would you like to share?
Yeah. So, my grandma is in my opinion, one of the sweetest people in
Yeah.
the world. Like,
Yep.
you can't really make my grandma hate you. I don't even know if she hates anyone. She is like she is that type of hot cocoa that is so freaking sweet that when you start drinking it, you're just like, oh, wow. But she's good. She is fun to talk to. She always has her in the mornings. She always has her iPod on, playing her gospel music and singing along with it and taking care of the pups.
You
She's
know
great.
something that I like that I see your grandma do every day
Mm.
is like she'll post on Facebook first thing, like a Christian
Her
like first
scriptures, yeah, her scriptures.
scriptures or a quote. I've seen a quote before,
Mm.
so it always. I mean, I have my own issues with God that we won't go into, but like
Mm-hmm.
that always makes me feel good. Like usually I see it right before I go into work,
Mm-hmm.
so it kind of just reminds me, hey, here's a little piece of goodness for you,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And I think the biggest thing about my sister, and your grandma and my grandparents, they don't judge us,
No,
right?
they don't. Yeah.
Like they may, and I'm speaking about my sister here. She gets annoyed with me sometimes about it, but she understands because I'm not really close with my other like other four siblings, even though um I
I mean,
am
you're
closer.
getting closer with at
Yes,
least your
yeah,
brother.
my brother and my youngest sister. And the reason I put my younger sister with my older siblings is because she is very introverted, and I'm not punishing her for that. I'm not doing that because you're introverted.
Mm-hmm. There's nothing wrong
Um,
with being introverted versus
no, I
extroverted.
don't.
That's
No, not at all. But I don't feel like I really know Monica because she's very um closed off.
mm-hmm.
So, but I take care of her. Like I'll buy her food all the time. Um, I mean, I'll do the brotherly things.
Mm-hmm.
And I've told her, I mean, and she does say that when I say I love you, she does say she loves me too.
Mm-hmm.
So I know the love is there, you
Yeah.
know. Um, and I think that's important with your family because sometimes, as we'll get into in a second here in a little bit, it's hard to tell, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I, but back to what I was saying about your grandma and my sister is they don't judge us.
Right.
You know, there may be moments. I mean, I don't know about your grandma, but there may be moments of, like I said with my sister Regina, annoyance.
Mm.
Um, like kind of exhaustion a little bit sometimes, but we always, anytime she and I fight, I always end up apologizing because I get so afraid of, I don't like, you don't like when your nets are mad at you,
Yeah.
you know, or there's tension because those nets will go away. That's the fear, right? So
Mm-hmm. Well,
I
that's
don't,
yeah. That is something that you think at the time a lot of times. Yeah.
yeah. So and I love my sister. You know this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Um, but yeah, my sister's just great about not judging. She does tell me her opinion, which I don't have to agree with all the time, and
Right.
there's times I haven't, but I've always told her, I mean, not to get like super serial here, but like it,
I'll
her and
fight
my
you, Al
mom are
Gore.
man, baby. Um,
I told you he was
um,
real.
Let's go to Olive Garden. Um, 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 if it wasn't for her and my mom, I, as far as family members,
Hmm.
I don't know, where I would be. You
Hmm.
know, so mentally, emotionally, I don't know. Um, but yeah, no, I mean, and people that are, the connections you do have in your family, those nets, um, they're good at kind of, at least for me, they're good at kind of reeling me in.
Hmm.
Depending on the situation.
Well, they're also, since they're there to talk to all the time, even when you're not near your phone or when your phone's dead, they're a bit closer, so you have a bit less of a fall.
Yeah. Um, is that how grandma is for you?
Kind of, she can be, yeah. Um, Sometimes it's more that being around my family can sometimes just get my mind off of things. Like,
Yourself?
well, yeah, because, I mean, yes, my main way of escapism and getting my mind off things is playing video games or working on my computer or doing some Japanese lessons or even making a game or something like that.
Or
Uh,
calling your friends?
yep. But, I still need to get up and walk around to
Absolutely.
get some exercise and to make it so that my legs can still maintain their muscles and support my weight. Uh, it's something I still need to do. So when I do that, I go down the stairs, spend some time with my grandma, you know, uh, spend
Play
some
with the
time with the
pups?
puppies. Yeah,
Yeah. He has a lot
just
of dogs, ladies and gentlemen.
uh, excuse you. It's three. It's not like we live in the 101 Dalmatian household. We have we have Bobo, we have Gracie Mayday, and we have Emmylou.
I love how her name's Mayday. That's
Well, I
awesome.
call her Mayday. Her name is Gracie May, but I call her Mayday.
Well, you should keep calling her that.
I
That's awesome.
do. I always call her Mayday.
I
Anytime I
might
talk to
use
her, I call her my little Mayday.
if I get a dog, I might steal Mayday from you.
Hmm.
I think that's actually a pretty cool name for a dog. Anyway, uh, but yes, and also family can come in many forms.
Mm-hmm.
You
Um.
know,
So one of the
like
things that goes off of what he just said about them coming in many forms. Rami and I are adopted. The family that we have, the families that we have, are not blood related to us. Um, but they're still our family
yeah,
because they, you know, they ingratiated us into their family. They took us in. You don't need to be blood related to be family, which that when I learned about being adopted meant as a kid and all that kind of stuff, I didn't go through you know, the whole sad thing about how, well, that doesn't mean they're my family because I'm not blood related to them. No, that doesn't mean shit. I mean,
I
it's
didn't really care
yeah,
for me. You know,
it blood relation doesn't matter. You can build familial bonds with anyone, and you can consider anyone family. Like, I will always say that Rami is my brother because he is. In my
we
mind,
are.
he is my brother.
Thank you, Peter. I love you.
Yeah. Love you too, bro.
Um,
But
I yeah. I mean, that's why you know a lot of the times, because I'm not. I'm getting like like we said, I'm getting closer with my older siblings, but I haven't been close. Cody knows this.
Yep.
This is why I refer to him and Skylar and a few of my other friends as my brothers because A, we're around the same age.
Mm.
That's important to me,
Yep.
obviously. Um, B,
It's
they
because we
don't
can
judge me.
share the gloriousness of Dunkaroos.
Oh God.
Sorry, go ahead.
Um, I'm gonna get you for that later.
What, Dunkaroos? Yes, please. I would love
all
some Dunkaroos.
right, fine.
Yes!
Um, I, you know, and two, like I don't have to worry about being judged.
Mm-hmm.
Now, am I gonna like their opinions all the time? No, you don't like anybody's opinion all the time.
Well, because
But
we're all different people.
exactly. But it doesn't come. I think when um it comes from when it can when it comes from a family member, there's an extra bit of sharpness to it, right? Because you look at the role like, oh, this is my mother, this is my father.
Mm-hmm.
For you, maybe it's, for you maybe it's this is my aunt or you know
Or my
whatever.
mom, or my grandma, or even one of my cousins, even though I don't take them as seriously.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, to kind of wrap up the good, there are good there as long as you have a few people in your family that will not judge you. Like I have my sister and my mom. Um my mom's a little bit more
Well,
judgy than my sister, but
I mean,
uh
there's definitely more good than that we can cover, though.
well no,
I.
just about this.
Hmm.
Sorry. Just about this. At least for me. Um you know, as long as you have a few of those people, you know, that's good because you need it. Everybody needs somebody that they could go to.
Right.
Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
So, one of the big things that I think family can play a major role in is helping to shape who you become as a person.
That's true.
A lot of people like to get on the whole nature versus nurture thing, which it takes both things. You know,
Absolutely.
true, some people can say one is more influential than the other one, but at the end of the day, your family does help nurture you. They help shape you, even if not like completely hands on in a way. It still is one of those things where the way that they respond to you, the way that they help you, the way that they teach you, all of that helps you grow as a person, and it helps you define in your mind what's good, what's bad, and just helps form you into the person that you're going to be.
Yeah, it helps your values.
Mm-hmm. Because
Yep.
when we're children, we're still growing as people. We aren't really our own people yet. We're pliable clay, and it's up to our families to help mold that clay into either a respectable member of society or a total piece of shit. It's all come
It could really go either way.
it really
You
can,
know
yeah. I mean, I have a
what?
lot of people that were my friends that turned into great people with great values and, you know, actually helped people later in life. And I have a couple that I don't think turned into great people and that I am not really friends with anymore, but ones that I can definitely tell they were kind of put
Yeah.
on that path by their family.
I mean, I have a lot of friends.
Mm.
You're one of them that come from, not what many would consider full families.
Mm,
Um, you didn't have a dad.
right.
Skylar didn't have a dad. Um, and as much as I joke about him being a piece of shit, and Skylar, you are. Um, um,
It's okay, Skyla. We all love you. And you're gonna be coming on the show.
yes, you're gonna be coming on the show. Um, and but I've seen them go through shit,
Mm-hmm.
you and him, and there has been many times where it's said, like we just stated, they could go either way on this.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I've always felt it is my job as your brother to kind of be like, hey, bro, don't go this way. Like, I'm not gonna, I don't force, but I kind of like, you might want to go this way. Um,
Well,
you
thank you,
know,
Jiminy Cricket.
and oh,
Yeah.
I'm your conscience.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
sometimes.
mm,
Other times you're like the devil on the shoulder.
right. Um, I well, thank you, buddy. I
Yeah.
actually take that as a compliment.
That's
Um,
good.
I, but I try to be like, hey, because you need that. Like, I feel like with people who don't have that extra guidance, not
Mm.
that they turn out bad. It's just you can tell in certain areas they're lacking in guidance, and like sometimes, like I've always felt, and you're more than welcome to tell me I'm wrong, Cody. But I've always felt like I've always tried to give you good guidance that you didn't necessarily get from others, and I hope that I've done a good job. You
I
know,
think that you kind of have, and it's
thank you.
more one of the great things that comes with friendship and having friends be like family is you can tell them about more stuff and talk to them about more stuff than you can your family.
That's for damn sure.
I mean,
Um,
I would never in a million years tell you about nearly half the shit that I would never in a million years tell my family about more than half the shit that I talk to you about.
no, no. My family knows that I depend on my friends.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but my mom will ask, "Have you like if I'm struggling?" They'll be like, "Have you talked to Cody today? Have you tried to reach out to Skylar today?" And so they'll check to make sure I'm reaching out, and my family gets it now.
Mm.
It's not that it's not. I think a lot of that, which we'll cover in a minute, or whenever we cover the gray or the bad, some of it can get lost in translation as you know we hate our families because we don't want to tell them. It's more we don't want to worry them,
Yeah,
because
in the words of an old song, parents just don't understand.
yeah, and I because sometimes when you tell them how you feel and you get that sense of worry that can be more activating than it is helping, you know,
Mm-hmm.
uh, which we'll cover here when we go to the bed. But yeah, I think to Cody's point, it's good to have, to kind of connect it to our friendship episode. It's good to have those people that you can go to that are outside your family that'll just understand you on a different level. It's not better, it's not worse. It's just on a different level, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Which, now that we have talked about the bad twice now, I think we should probably move to the bad.
Sure.
So, do you want to go first, or should I go ahead and start this out?
I would like to go first this time.
All right, go on ahead. Dozo.
Thank you. Um, I, there are those family members. We love. Let me preface this by saying we love all our family members. We do,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't want this to be misconstrued as, oh, they hate we hate our families. No, that's not what we're saying. Um, but we do have those family members that just don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
That no matter how much we tell them, it comes off in a judgmental way,
Mm-hmm.
you know, or it's just not received the way that we want. Members of my family that do that are my older sister, and my dad.
Mm-hmm.
And me and my dad have gone to war. Cody has been
And
present for most of those wars.
especially when they were, especially when you were younger. Good lord, felt like we had
Yeah,
felt like I had boots on the ground the couple of times that when I was at your house.
and Cody loves my dad.
Mm-hmm.
He would often say to me, "Why do you get so mad at him?" I mean, he could see why, but
Mm-hmm.
like he would be like, "Dude, I don't even have a dad." Like I remember you saying that too.
Mm-hmm.
Like you are lucky because you were trying to get me to realize like how lucky I am.
Yep.
But you know, my dad, we've gone to war, and most of it's my fault, and I'm willing to take responsibility because I
I
have a temper.
I probably wouldn't
I'm
say most. I'd probably say it's
well,
closer
okay.
to like half and half. But you guys have your.
Well, thank you. You're the first one out of the inner circle, though, because Skylar is like, you get way too mad at your dad.
Mm.
Um, um,
I mean, you do, but some of the times that you get mad at him, I would say he has it coming.
well, and
Like
see, it's not even.
I would have probably gotten mad if someone reacted to me some of the ways that he acts towards you.
And some people just don't like family members. Some of them just don't understand,
Mm.
and it sucks because we want to be understood by everyone in our family. You know,
Mm-hmm.
because of the word family, right? And that's just not the case. With my dad, he's one of those people, and we're probably gonna use this type of phrasing a lot, but Cody and I really have a pet peeve
Mm.
for people who say, anybody, just snap out of it,
Yeah.
just get over it, just stop. You can stop. It's easy for me to stop. That's not good. That doesn't make us want to stop. That doesn't. When you say that to somebody, it makes it worse. It can.
Some of the first things that come to my mind whenever someone says that kind of stuff to me is, am I really that broken? Because I can't stop. Or
Thank you.
I'm, or one of those things where it's just like, so you make it sound so easy. I must be doing something wrong, or I must be defective, or it just keeps going down that kind of downward spiral.
It does not. It does not add anything, and it can further activation.
Yep.
And for people like me and my buddy here, we just it, we're already beating our brains are already on fire,
Mm-hmm.
right? We don't want to add fuel.
I'm on fire. Not the good kind of fire either. Like what was the NBA Jam? Not even that good.
Yeah,
Not even that good. He's on fire. Kind of thing. No, it's more one of those screaming in pain, rolling around on the ground, but the ground is covered with flowers, so you just get more on fire.
I love that game. Anyway,
Oh yeah, NBA 2K Jam. Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
was it 2K
Uh,
Jam? I
no, it
think it
was
was
just
just
Jam.
NBA Jam. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sega,
Mm.
Sega. Um,
Sega.
I. But no, it doesn't do you any favor. It doesn't help the situation.
No.
It may be coming from a good place of, hey, I don't like you talking like this. Just stop it. Like, and I can understand that context, and I'm sure Cody can too. But it doesn't help in the moment.
I
Um,
think that it's more that they think it's coming from a good place,
yes,
but
I agree with you.
it's definitely not. It's it's you may think that you're trying to get us to eat our veggies by saying that kind of thing, or trying to get us to eat our vitamins, but you're not. But you're not doing that. All you're doing is kind of shoving more poison or cyanide into our minds. It's not good. If you
Well,
try to, because you're trying to base everything around,
your experiences.
mm-hmm, which you can't really do that because you can't experience what we experience because you're not us.
And not to mention, we don't want you to.
No, hell no.
I don't want anybody to.
I wouldn't want my
You know,
worst enemy to go through some of the stuff that I go through.
good for you. I could think of one person, and you know who he is.
Yeah,
Um,
I wouldn't, dude. I wouldn't even want him to do this
fine.
with how messed up I've gotten and how many nightmares that I've had that go on for like days and days and days.
Yeah,
There's
no, you're
reasons
right.
why there's
You're
reasons
right. You're
why
right.
there's reasons why I suffer from uh not being able to go to sleep. Uh,
And not to mention, because I was feeling this way the other day, because
mm,
my dad, we got into a fight, and I think I told you this. I told my mom to tell him, watch out what he's saying to me.
mm-hmm,
Because with our, with my suicidality,
mm-hmm,
with anybody that suffers from suicidality or
mm-hmm.
depression, we're making a choice to be here every day.
Yep.
And I hate to be all deep on this thing, but I'm very passionate about mental health. I think we both are.
I
I
would
mean,
agree.
hell, I work in it.
Mm-hmm,
Um, you know, I, you know, and I love my dad. I do. I have his last name. He brought me to this country, or he helped me get here.
mm-hmm,
He's let me stay here um when he hasn't had to, and
mm-hmm.
he's been super kind to me, and I love him dearly. But when it comes to emotions, some family members just, you can't go to them
No.
because they're going to, as much as they can to help, try, or as much as they want to help, they just won't. And what they give you may just make that fire turn into an inferno.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and another phrase I want to say too, that similar to just snap out of it. You're such a drama queen,
Yeah.
so dramatic.
Well,
No,
because what you're doing there is you are,
invalidating.
yeah, you're invalidating, which is never a good thing because those feelings are there, those feelings are valid because many people who suffer from mental issues and suicidal ideation, all these things, they have a lot of those same ideas and thoughts, and that's one of the reasons why sometimes having a friend that goes through these same things is good because it puts you guys both in the same boat and lets you know that you're not alone. Which, by the way, you are definitely not alone. There's quite a few people on this boat. It's more the size of a cruise liner, and it's still packed full.
Not the Titanic.
No, well, it feels like it's the Titanic sometimes.
Well, especially with our families, it can be, and
Hmm.
you know, um, I just want to say too on this show, like you're gonna hear me reference my older sister a lot. She and I do not have the greatest relationship. Um, but just like my dad, I love her too.
Hmm.
And I am not going to badmouth her as much as I like out of respect for my brother in law and my niece and nephew because I love them. Um, we just have our issues. I love her. I know she loves me, even though it really doesn't feel like it. And that's the other thing, too. When you're invalidated or when stuff like I mentioned come up, you don't feel like those family members really, you don't feel the love.
Yep.
But
Well, and that's another thing though, because we are trying to stay on the topic of family and all that. Um, I would like to point out that sometimes the reason why you don't want to bring stuff up with your family is because with how long you've been with them and how much they have helped mold you, you've kind of gotten a sense of what they're like.
what
So,
they're capable of emotionally. Yeah.
so
You know,
you don't talk to them about some things because you, even though they try to say they're not going to judge you for things,
it
you
comes off
know,
that
yeah, you know that it'll either come off that way or that they will. Because I mean, it's just a human trait. Even
Yeah, you've experienced that with your mom, right?
hmm I have
Yeah,
experienced that with multiple people in my family, and
yeah.
I know that they still love me and all that, but I don't want to get judged. I don't want to be looked at less in their eyes. It's just
They
not
just
something I want to do.
they just don't know how to show up.
Mm-hmm.
We'll put it that way.
Yep.
Uh,
And they can't really. If you don't have these, if you don't have the issues that we have, you probably don't know how those issues feel.
right.
Therapists can, but that's more because they see it so often and went to school for it and have witnessed it so much that they kind of get it.
I went to college. Sorry.
Your mom went to college.
Yeah, I love you for that. Um, um, we need laughter a little bit with these episodes just to break up the intensity.
Tension, yeah.
Um, but well, we've talked about the bad, right? Do you think we've covered it enough?
I would say we've definitely made a mark in it and talked about the main things.
So yes,
Yeah, sure.
peanut
So,
butter time.
oh, it's definitely time for the chunky.
Cool.
Um, so, you mind if I start us off there?
Absolutely. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, okay. So, whenever we're talking about the chunky, we're talking more about how to spread it out.
Yep.
And there are a lot of ways to do this. There are things that you know what you can and can't talk to your parents about. You know, you're not going to go and talk to your mom about how you just had sex for the first time with your girlfriend or boyfriend or or you met a sex friend or any of that kind of thing. You're not going to do that. You don't want
Or
to
you
talk
just
about it with them.
or,
They probably don't want to hear about it. One of those kind of things.
or you just smoked a bunch of doobies and you're
Mm,
super high.
well, I mean, who knows? some parents might be kind of hippie-ish, and
Not ours.
no,
Uh,
definitely not ours. My mom, the more and more times the more and more times she's alive, the closer and closer to straight edge she gets. Uh,
CM Punk.
oh, very much so, yeah. Um,
Um,
but so you have certain things that you don't talk to your family about, but you'll talk to your friends about. There are some things that you might talk to your friends about or there are some things you might not talk to your friends about that you will talk to your family about. There's
yeah,
just
you get angles from everybody,
mm-hmm,
like different angles from everybody,
yep,
but they're all under the family umbrella. You
exactly.
know,
You just need to know how to spread those things out. You know that there are things that you can definitely go to your family for. If you have if you are in complete emotional distress because of financial issues or anything like that, you could probably go to your family for that. They might, if not be able to help you, they might actually be able to point you where you can get help. You
yeah,
know, if
yeah,
you're
that's a great example.
if you're going through some bad times and you just need to let it all out, you might be able to go to your family because maybe your mom or dad or one of your
You
older
need parent
siblings,
comforting.
yeah,
Yeah,
maybe they've also gone through it and maybe they can tell you how it happened for them. It may not happen the exact same way for you, but it'll at least make you feel like you're not alone in going through that. That
right.
is what it all comes down to, is you just are not going to feel alone. It is one of the worst feelings when you feel alone, and that is one of the reasons why, uh, if you guys want to put comments out there and all that, be nice to each other, be kind. We're all on this boat together. We need to make sure that we keep each other from going over to the edge in that icy water, because there are definitely some sharks in there.
And please leave us a comment about the show and be honest. We appreciate the feedback.
Yes, it'll help us improve. Um,
Um, you know, and I think it's important to learn how to navigate those different um those that lens of, can I go to my friends for this? Can I go to my family? Because
mhm.
you need to be able to know what everybody is capable of emotionally, right? Like,
Also,
um,
don't feel bad if you don't know how to gauge it right away or don't know what things you can talk about to who right away. It
it takes time.
it takes time, it takes trial and error, you know. You gotta crawl before you can walk. You gotta know who you can trust before you do
I don't have legs.
it.
Um,
You don't need legs.
I don't wear shoes.
I don't
Um,
either.
I, but no, but just knowing again that you have a wide variety of nets,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and just because you go to one doesn't mean the other is any less important, you
Exactly.
know. And it's important to tell, like, if you go to your friends, if you say to your family, well, I only feel comfortable talking to my friends about this, I would preface it by saying it's not that I don't love you,
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of people can say, oh, well, you don't take that as such a rejection. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
no, I just, my friends can understand.
Yep.
My family can, and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
My family just gets it, bro.
Yep.
You know, it's all about levels of comfort.
Yep. And I think that the main reason why some people might take an issue with you not telling them everything is because they'll think it comes down to, oh, you don't trust me and that kind of stuff. It's when it's not so much about trust, it's more, comfort. It's more that those people are probably closer to being in the same boat as you than you feel your family is. Or the family's closer to the boat than you feel your friends are.
Well said.
You shouldn't feel bad about excluding family or friends from parts of your life. You shouldn't even feel bad if there are just parts of your life that you just want to keep to yourself and not share with anyone.
You have that right.
Mm-hmm. This is you.
Um,
You know you. They can't know you any more than you know yourself. Whatever you
but
feel
I
comfortable with is what you should go with at the end of the day.
but
Just
I just want to stress, but you need to communicate that somehow to them,
exactly.
like this, because if you're just gonna go out and do your own thing, great, do your own thing, be in your own boat, but tell
Be
them
your own
I'm not
boss.
okay. Um, but just tell them so they don't think XYZ because they're people too. They love you.
hmm
Um,
And even though
um,
they may seem like giants to you because they helped build you up, they still have weaknesses and they might not be as mentally stable as.
or sound.
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just may not have the mental awareness that you need.
hmm it can
Um,
really be kind of a landmine dealing
it
with
really
people,
can.
but it's one that
But
we're all going through. So
yeah,
yeah.
and I just want to say for anybody that is struggling today listening to this or whenever it comes out, hey, congratulations, you made it to another day. We're proud of you.
Exactly. That is one thing that no one can take away from you. You're still going on. And there are definitely a lot of people in the world who aren't anymore. You made it another day. You refused to let the dark times win. And we are all here for you and with you.
And and even though it may not seem like it, um, you know, some part of your family is glad that you're still here too.
hmm There are probably a
Because you
lot
don't,
more people that need you and care for you than you think there are. You are your own.
that's,
You are a gem and you are a treasure, and it just needs. You just. There are definitely people that see you for what you're worth.
do not pay attention to that warped mirror we talked about in the first episode.
Mm-hmm.
Because that mirror will lie to you.
Oh,
Um,
and we're also our harshest critics. So
we are. We are. I really want to get into self worth and all that in a future episode.
yeah,
It'll
we
be
probably
interesting.
will.
It'll be interesting to dive into, and anxiety. We haven't even scratched the surface.
No. The mind is a vast, vast expanse.
Well, buddy, weird fact time.
Okay. Let's see. Weird facts. Weird, 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 weird.
You got any family ones?
Well, yeah. One of the big ones that I like to talk about is. So, Rami, do you know that saying "blood is thicker than water"?
Yeah,
Did you know that it has the exact opposite meaning for what most people think it means?
I think we talked about this last night.
Yeah, we didn't talk about it in an episode though.
That's true.
So, for those of you that are wondering, the complete phrasing of it is the blood of the coven is thicker than the water of the womb. This means that the bonds that you make outside of your blood relations can sometimes be more powerful and more impactful for you than your blood family. This was something that was said to I believe it was Roman soldiers to help build more camaraderie amongst each other, because if you have more feelings for the guys that you're fighting with, you're going to fight that much harder to keep both you and them alive. But it also is a very true statement. I mean, I definitely depend on Rami and other friends of mine for things that I wouldn't bring up to family. Um,
And just to add to what you said and about the what you said just now,
mm,
you know, people. That's why, guys. It's sometimes good to go out of your way to do stuff for your family, your whether that's your friend's family or your actual family, to make sure they're still in the boat. Like for instance, I will buy Cody video games here and
mm,
there, not because um he needs them because he has a lot of them, but because it does something for him mentally,
mm,
and it's my way of doing kind of what Cody just said, keeping him alive. You know. Um. Anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there.
all right. So, as always with this show, he's Rami.
He's Cody.
Good night, everybody.
Thanks, guys.